We're on a boat. This is our bag. Oh, here. A journal. Oh, do I actually have to, like, open it? How does this work?
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
I guess we're going to the house, everyone. I don't know about you, chat, but this is giving me like a very uneasy feeling already.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Okay. I see, I see. That sounds problematic, to be fair. The
Inside the
controls are
mailbox were bills
very
from
weird
7
to me,
years
I'm not
ago,
gonna lie.
marked urgent, open immediately.
I'm guessing you were not
I hadn't
supposed
been
to
back
open
since
those?
my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
I'm very confused because not confused, but I'm intrigued because there's like two pathways that you can take here. I wonder if they're different because this is a path that you can take, and down there is also a path that you can take. I'm more inclined to take the forest one. I don't know why. It's just calling for me for some reason. Yes, I am one with nature. Of course, of course, of course.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
Hopefully, I'm not in the way of text anymore. Hey, it's a hoop. We can shoot some b-ball. Let's go. Oh, never mind. It's just the board. Oh, actually, there is a hoop. Nice. Missing Wilton Finch. I cannot really read a lot on it. There's like a bench here, a big old truck.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
This is a big ass house. I could sell this for like $1,000,000. After, I did some work on it because it is pretty run down. And weather did take over it by the looks of it. Let me
As
go
a
to the garage.
child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now,
Honestly,
as a
understandable.
17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
You know what? That's very valid. The chimes. This game is giving me an uneasy feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I heard something moving around in the garage.
Oh,
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
This game is giving me the EBGBs, if you will. Yikes. I don't know why.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
I mean, the house is actually really, it seems cozy. Like, it feels a little bit cozy, but like at the same time,
The table
it's a
was
mess.
still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Just a black book. Same over here. Lots of boxes. Were they moving? Violins on the wall. Why is that door so blocked?
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Wait a minute. Can I actually get into the library? No, not yet, at least. Guess we go up then.
After Milton
This is
disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
hmm.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
I'll come back to this later. I need to check the house. Molly?
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Yeah, fair enough. That room does look cozy, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
I wonder why. Was she a star? Was she a movie star?
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Poor Barbara. Also, why does everybody in this family die young? Barbara was 16. The girl over there with the cute room died like when she was 14. Is this family cursed or something?
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Calvin was
My grandma Sam
11.
spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Oof. This family
As
is
a kid, I just
cursed.
assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Dude, this family is fucking cursed. Holy hell. Why is everyone dead?
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Okay, I guess now we've explored everything there was to explore here. So we can now go inside the little window pathway.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
This is...
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan, but I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Owl mask. Nice. Oof. I'm getting such an uneasy feeling. Holy hell.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Can't open this one. Can I open anything
I
here?
grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Am I stuck here now?
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Am I missing something? Can I open a door? This one can't be opened by the looks of it. This one also can't be opened. Is the paint... Can I do something with the painting, maybe? Doesn't look like it. Am I supposed to get back here? Nope. What am I missing? Am I blind? There doesn't seem to look like there's anything else I can interact with. Oh, here. Found it.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Oh no, did she... No...
My Halloween candy was all gone. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
I don't know which door to open first, honestly.
I kept eating and eating.
Is that toothpaste? This poor girl.
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
The fuck?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
This is actually really cool. It's like a Stray game before Stray happened. How the fuck did a human turn into a cat?
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
What the fuck is going on?
Rabbits.
We're hunting rabbits, everyone. This is wild.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew
Holy
off to
fuck.
find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry.
I got an achievement
I
for that, by the way.
choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
What the fuck? I'm fish out of water, everyone. Help me.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals.
Okay, shark is giving me nervousness. I don't know how to control shark. Finally got to it. Only took me 5
Tore
minutes
off
to
her
do so.
flipper, and it tasted really good.
That poor seal.
kept on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Am I an octopus now?
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Am I gonna eat this guy? Holy fuck. This is disturbing.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Belly with a rusty razor, belly with a rusty razor, belly with a rusty.
This is wild. What the fuck? Okay, so I have to go outside.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Yikes. This is so disturbing, by the way. What the fuck? Am I back into my bathroom? Yes, I am. I'm going to eat
I got
myself.
closer and closer.
That sounds mad. Okay, no, that's just reflection.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Good lord, this is disturbing. Rest in peace, Molly.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
The mouse controls are kind of weirding me out, I'm not gonna lie to you. I get why this was closed now.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Maybe she was. Who knows? Okay, how do I get out of here now? Really? I'm going out the window like Molly? That's crazy.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
I
Edie
wonder
would
why.
have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
A lot of pets died, apparently. Ryan sketches.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Built 1937.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
I love Edie. Edie is great.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Whoa, this bathroom is different. Different.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
There's a secret in the bathroom.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Of course it was.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
So this is like a camera, a photo like revealing room or whatever it's called. I don't know English word for that. Sorry. Murder probe clues exhausted. Couple turns land into native haven. What about over here? What's going on? Milton was here. Can I go back? Because I left something behind that I wanted to see. And open this door. I know there was something that I needed to interact with here. Or maybe not. Maybe I was just imagining things.
Her room was like a museum. For
there was
500
something.
years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune. And misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse. His wife, Ingeborg, and their newborn son, Johan.
I'm telling you
On
guys,
January
this family's
7th,
cursed.
1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Why is he bringing a house with him?
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
This is wild. And now we go back to the hallway. To the little passageway, the secret passageway, rather. There we go. We push a chair. And this is Sam and Calvin's room. Okay, what happened here then? That is actually such a sad imagery, like the little marks for every year that they've grown, and then Calvin stops like at
I knew
61.
Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
To command center.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told
Rocking
him
back
going
and
around was
forth.
impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Gonna break the tree branch, isn't it?
I'm gonna tell you again.
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Oh, this is
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
oh, this is
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's
that
story
left me
felt
so
strangely
uneasy.
Familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
I don't know what it is with
You
like
know,
heights.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know what it is with heights for me, but like, it leaves me so uneasy. And then Sam went on and became a Marine Corps. That's interesting.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Yeah, I can see why. And of course, another secret. I think that was everything left to interact here. But I'll make sure, just in case. I don't think I don't think I left anything behind. Doesn't look like it. Alright. Keep it moving.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Ooh. I saw the Bigfoot
Growing
in that.
up,
Dude.
I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
You know what? That's very valid, Edith.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Yeah.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Surprising ending of Barbara
Old
Finn.
Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky
Can't believe they
break,
called her washed.
she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
Oh no.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
He's not coming
20
back, is he?
minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
That was your mistake. Why'd you go?
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
I see blood already.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman Killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
This is awful.
Rattled and grew still.
It's gonna be Rick.
Oh dear!
Jesus Christ. Idiot.
Rick?
Barb, relax. relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter. Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Oh no.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And who he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
This is such a beautiful storytelling. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's no longer here. Fuck.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Oh, who's it gonna be this time?
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her.
What the fuck is this?
It was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear
What the
Barbara
fuck?
was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Ugh.
I call a real eerie tale.
Oh, that's grim. That is so grim.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Is it gonna be a passageway here too?
I guess
Fucking
now I
hell.
know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
This is where it came from. Okay, got it. And I think that's everything in this part of the house. I already established that we can open this. I'm guessing it's gonna have me go to the basement now because it revealed the basement story. I feel like I'm moving so slowly. Why does that look so like it stands out so much? Brother, this is terrifying. But like not in an actual scary way, more so in like a just uneasy way. Holy
Mom
hell.
said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Yeah, you know what? Valid. This looks like... Yikes. I don't think this is a safe workplace. I don't think this is a safe
I saw
work
Edie sneak
environment.
down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
I really don't want to find out what is inside here.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Of course.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Of course this is a tomb. Oh, what the fuck? Is this like a nuclear
If there's a pattern in all
fallout
these
shelter?
stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Poor Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But
But
if you
then
wait
death
long
never
enough,
came.
you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Oh, that's sad.
And then one day, everything just...
Hey, it's
Stop.
2005, everyone. Oh?
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Have you survived the curse, Walter?
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly
And everyone else in his
and
family?
Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day,
Over and
even
over
if it
again.
kills me.
I love that. I love the whole smashing bricks
Whatever's out there,
text animation.
I want you to
That's
know
beautiful.
I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day.
And one
I can
new
already
day you shall
imagine the
have.
sun on my face.
Oh, he got... Dude,
Walter
what
died
is
when I
up
was
with this
6.
family?
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
I'm trying to go down the stairs actually. Please, please and thank you. I will say this, the animations do take a little bit longer than one would hope. Honestly.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
What else did she tell me about?
I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself
You know what? Fair enough.
and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
You know what? You have a point. Maybe that is the
I
problem,
don't
and
know
maybe
if I
that's
should
why.
even be writing this.
Maybe that's why Milton
Maybe it'd
has.
be better if all this just died with me.
Maybe this is the whole reason why Milton is doing this chase thing? Why did this turn on by itself?
But I thought you should know about your family.
My family? Am I a Finch?
And the history you're a part of.
Okay, I can't go into the ocean. Oh, the game was misleading me. How could you, game? How could you do this to me?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
From a storytelling perspective, this game is beautiful, by the way. Holy fuck. Like, everything about this is...
Look at the house. That history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible.
And that's where Calvin died. But yeah, what I was trying to say is, like, this is a beautiful game from a storytelling perspective. Like, it does such a good job of keeping you captivated, and like, it just hooks you with like.
We've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
It keeps you hooked
What kind
with
of
like.
family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
It keeps you hooked with like all this aspects of like storytelling and stuff. I felt so uneasy in that house, and for a good reason, because there's a curse with this family going on, and like if it felt like something was just, you know, lurking in the shadows. So it's like, what the
embarrassing
hell?
for me to admit this, but
Ooh. Yeah.
the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
You know what?
3 of
Fair
the
enough.
troubles were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
How could you do that to them, Edith? How could you? Poor Bailey.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
There lays Barbara, killed by monsters in her house, which is very, like, symbolic of, you know, drugs. Walter died because of paranoia, essentially. We don't know what happened to Edie. She just died of old age, I think. I think we haven't heard what happened to Sven either. Calvin launched himself into the ocean, by the looks of it. Still trying to figure out how that happened. And Molly was something. I'm not sure how to explain it.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
I wonder why your mom wanted to move on. It makes perfect sense, actually.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, so that's the house?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
It's a beautiful moon. I don't think I'm supposed to be here anymore, but I don't know where to go. Let's go back.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand.
No.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
You know what? Yeah, I agree with that.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Poor Gregory died as a child. Gus died as a child. And Sam died as an old man, basically, for this family. Holy hell. 30 is old in this family.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Louis Finch. Oh, he died old. And Sanjay Kumar. Why is this name so familiar? And here's Milton.
We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
You know what? Good on you, Mom. Why is my dog barking?
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I mean, you know what? That sounds hella valid. Because I'm pretty sure if anyone told me the stories that happened to this family, I would not believe them. At all. Because this is the type of cursed shit. This is the type of cursed shit that, like, dude. You know?
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
You're pregnant? Wow. That's a twist. I was not expecting that. Wait. You're a teenager and oh no. She's 17 at this point, isn't she? Where am I supposed to go here? I have a feeling I'm supposed to climb this. No. Oh, there's a stair here.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
And this is the 3rd floor.
They were both pretty intense.
I'm guessing this is over the...
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
You know what? Valid. I feel like Rio would do that. I guess this is an airline ticket for Kate Finch. A little box. Is Kay... Who is Kay in this case anyway? Maybe his daughter, I suppose? Or Walter's daughter? No, I'm not sure. Just like a little leaf over here. It's not like a branch. So I'm not sure what happened. I need to drink water.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
have a feeling I'm supposed to take pictures of something, or is it just in general?
Aw.
Definitely should not have drunk
Ah,
all that
there.
coffee.
Hold still on.
Hey!
I didn't see him before.
That's a keeper.
That is a good photo.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target.
What is the target? Don is looking over here. The question is where? 'Cause I don't see anything that's supposed to be killed here.
I'm over here, Dad.
Oh, I'm just supposed to take a picture of Dawn? Okay.
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
The poor deer.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Why? The kid is crying, Walter.
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Okay, I see what it is. I'm supposed to run.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about.
Dad!
Holy hell. Yikes.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Okay, that's the way out. Can I open this door? I'll have to imagine no. Dude, this family is so sad. Like, how the fuck does everybody keep dying?
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
It's a baby. What happened to the baby? And I don't mean the rapper, I mean Gregory.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
I feel like I've seen this before.
Hello?
I feel like I've seen this on TikTok. By accident.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination.
Why is there an S here?
Whatever it was, he saw.
I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. I knocked all the letters into the bathtub.
It sure made him happy.
Okay, so it was the whale.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that
want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand.
He turned into a fucking frog.
About everything.
What the fuck? I hate the water controls in this game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Know what happened wasn't your fault.
That gets him pulled down the drain.
And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Yikes. Kid died in a bathtub. Okay, I can't find out what happens to Dawn yet.
I can't
but I
imagine
can't find
my
out what
mom
happens
ever
to
writing
Gus.
poetry and yet.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
It was basically your usual kid stuff.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Oh, Gus. Gus is great already. I love him. I'm sad he
Wind
passed
picked
away.
up,
He would have
and
loved
geese
Chapo
appeared
Rowan.
and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Okay, I think I see what's happening, guys. It's raining, and he's playing with a kite. I have a
Rain
feeling.
came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
I have a feeling thunder is going to strike, and that's how he's going to die.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power.
Sorry,
All
hit
my
my
father
mic.
said to this
My
was,
bad.
Make the music louder. I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Raise flags, 7:30 a.m. Breakfast, 8 a.m. Quiet time, 11 p.m. Sweep, trash. Gus, mop, mow yard. And Greg, be a baby. Routine: jump rope, jumping jacks, push-ups, crunches, run to mailbox and back. Yikes. Oh, there's a thingy here. Oh, I can climb. I can
My mom moved up to
climb.
the loft after her brothers died.
Yeah, that's
At the
completely
time,
understandable.
it was as far away as she could get.
Yeah. Telling you guys, this game is giving me an uneasy feeling. Is this Dawn's little room?
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
You know what? That is very understandable. It helps a lot of people, actually.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
Okay, so Sanjay is
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Sanjay is the dad. See. 10 ways to teach critical thinking. Dawn Finch. My mom is Dawn. Interesting to know. Okay. I can go down with the thingy. Words. That was fun. But now I go back up because the story I need to see is up there, not down here. I keep telling you guys, from a storytelling perspective, this game is beautiful.
Lewis was born a year later.
Missing Milton Finch.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Invisible wall here because I'm not supposed to go down anymore.
I'm sure Edie
Dawn.
was happy to have her back.
Milton and Lewis.
Good to
Edith.
see kids in the house again.
Poor Edith. Or Edie. Poor Edie.
The house
She
had
was
to
left
get a little
alone,
bigger,
basically.
but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Of course it didn't last. It was never supposed to last.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Not a castle. Peephole.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
He's an artiste. That does explain the paintings on the walls that he left. On the passageways and stuff. I have a feeling like I'm going through this game too fast, almost. If that makes sense. But it is supposed to be a short game. Yeah, that's the way out. Is there anything here that I can interact with? Doesn't seem like it. I also love the concept of the artist's room being like a...
finally have another painter in the family.
I love the concept of like the artist, the painter's room being like basically a blank canvas, so that he can express his art freely. I really love that.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
And there he is. He's making his own little thingy. I love that. He painted a door. Is he gonna go through it? And that's his disappearance. And that's how it happened.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Historic American newspaper now available. I'm trying to see if there's like anything important in the news. No, it's the same newspaper that we seen earlier. It doesn't seem like there's anything new. We keep him moving. Oh, that's a beautiful painting of what I imagine is supposed to be the house. Like reimagined.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
And this was the door. Right here. You can see out the peephole. That's crazy.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Yeah, I don't remember the staircase being here. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I have a feeling I'm supposed to go up now.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Louis Finch.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
Nice. Love this room. It's a boat. Also, I got an achievement for that, by the way. I do want to preface this by saying that I'm not achievement hunting. Like, if it happens, it happens. But it has a tendency to happen. Louis had his fun, I can see.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
I wonder why.
Louis
Edith
and I
Finch
spent a lot
Jr.
of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
He's just like me, for real, for real. Dawn Finch.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
deteriorate, probably.
Wander.
Oh! It's like...
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. toads.
What the fuck? This is a whole ass dragon.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
I mean, he did.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery, I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
A dog. I love a dog. This is
On the
taking
edge of
all
a
my
city,
brain
he
capacity,
named
by the way.
Lewis Topia.
Holy fuck.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
This is basically me playing Civ.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him.
This is
All the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet,
so wild.
were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Again, chat, I do apologize if I am quiet. I'm literally struggling to keep up with this. Like, I feel like this is taking all my brain
He
capacity.
held an election for mayor,
Did he lose the election for mayor?
and
Oh.
he won.
I was gonna say, I can.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Yeah, that does not surprise me whatsoever.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
It is just like Civ, for real, for real.
St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to
Minneapolis?
go home from the cannery.
Fish.
Even as
Hey,
his
Koff,
mother
what's
pleaded
up?
with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
I need to do a quick break because I need to pay attention for this. There you go. Congratulations, Koff. Get yourself a shout out. Rude? I don't think that's rude. I think that's very fair.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Beautiful prince, and it's
beautiful
Koff.
prince.
I'm good. How are you, Koff? This game is beautiful, but also fucking disturbing as all hell.
The prince was on his own quest for
Radiant rainbows, of course.
radiant rainbows.
Am I making I missed the rainbow, fuck. I destroyed the rainbow.
He followed the sound of his
electric sitar.
Electric sitar.
I'm glad to hear you're good, Cough. I missed the note. Fuck. Cough, I cannot
His
begin
chase
to
led
tell
him
you
to a
how much
golden
focus
palace
this game is
east of
taking.
the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
How do people do this without like completely losing their mind? Am I cooked?
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
You know what? Fair enough.
And then
I
it struck him.
do
that
understand
the real
that
Lewis
a
was
lot,
not
actually.
the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
So basically, he went manic, is what you're trying to tell me, game.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Yeah, understandable, honestly. Whoa. That was a very cool transition, but that was like such a like contradicting like ambiance. Ugh. I'm telling you guys, this game gives me the heebie-jeebies. Hey, it's a Nintendo Switch. Nah, just kidding. The Nintendo Switch didn't exist then.
Began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
He became so delusional that the reality of his life hurt him. And then, oh no, I'm seeing. I see what's happening. I don't like it. Adieu, my dear friend.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
I am a king, everyone. Celebrate my words. Celebrate my reign as I reign supreme.
Had insisted on advising him.
There he is, it's the Sultan.
His prince waited, holding his crown.
The problem is, the crown isn't a crown, it's a guillotine. And I knew that was exactly what was gonna
There was
happen.
only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
Chat, I do advise you, look away if you must.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Rest in peace, Lewis. That leaves 2 people left to unveil their stories. Oh, Indian
He
flag.
was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
You know what? That's valid. Also, Cough. What do you think of this room? I want your opinion. It's a boat, but also there's an Indian flag, and there's video games and other stuff. Especially other stuff.
My mom told me to start packing.
They're gonna move.
She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Poor
I'm not sure
Edie.
if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
In loving memory of Louis Finch. And this is Edith.
But I understand why we left.
Was this your room, Edith? Edith? Or my room in this case?
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Yeah, you know what?
What happened
Valid.
that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
And this is where my room was, by the looks of it.
But it had to end one way or another.
All that's left now is to
Ooh.
tell you about that last night.
This is so nice. I'm terrified of this. Edith and Finch.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
And now I get to wander around in the dark.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or
Oh, there is another entrance. So yeah, the library was
And when you leave the house.
the library was locked, so we couldn't access it, and now we can.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
The house was accessible?
First and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
So for context, right? This whole family came from Europe, and Odin, who was like the great-grandfather, he wanted to bring his house with him to this new place that they were living. And unfortunately, it crashed, and Odin stayed with the house and died. And yeah, So basically, it crashed like very close to the shore, but it was inaccessible for most of the time. And yeah, this is what it happened. This is basically the remains of it now.
The lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered.
This is so confusing and so disorienting at the same time. The deer! Did she start seeing everyone?
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
I think it's more likely the latter than, you know, the first.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
And that was
The
it.
next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
And that's
After
how
that,
she
we
died.
moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while,
And then she got worse.
and then she didn't.
And then she passed.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
Nothing. Tell him nothing. Change
If
your
we lived
name.
forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself.
She died giving
I guess
birth,
if
didn't
you're
she?
reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
That's so sad. Fuck, that's so sad.